assassin for the side of RRQ.
Yeah, Roger is a good ban. I was thinking that maybe RRQ HOSHI is planning to go for the Roger just because this is a dive heavy composition, the Esmeralda and the Matilda.
And it's a Sin Chow Cow too.
Yeah,
Sin has no options. Very few.
I'm thinking maybe there are more that he could go for, but it won't be as good in the current meta, the tournament meta that we have right now. RRQ HOSHI, I think Sin is gonna be forced to play a lane, probably.
Potentially.
But BREN still has a ban.
I would agree that, you know, BREN could shut down this link almost straight away and force RRQ into something that takes even longer and doesn't exactly spike as nicely with the mages, and that could just be putting him on something like a Hayabusa here. But they don't ban out the link, they get rid of the Khalid instead.
I really like that most of these games, they are actually removing the Khalid. They understand that it is really absolutely tough to take down the Khalid. Not to say that he's ultra tanky, but his sustainability is just as bad as you compare it facing off against the Esmeralda.
I mean, there's a lot of speculation that could be one way. That could be one way here. But RRQ, considering that the style that they played so far, they could look to set up Harley, and it's not like we haven't seen this huge mage composition before. We saw it in the group stages against EVOS SG, and we're able to kind of defend against it. But instead, they're gonna go with the Belleric here, and hoping that that might just be enough to stop Claude in his tracks.
Okay, so there's a tank. We were looking for one. No Lemon, but we'll see how this ends up on RRQ HOSHI's lineup this time.
Wait,
Butters, light bulb moment.
we've seen this. This could be a Bruno setup for RRQ HOSHI.
Oh,
We've seen
another version of it.
No, it's almost the carbon copy, the exact same thing. They've got the components there as well, but BREN, they lock in the Farsa as well as the Sylvana, which was, I was thinking of something, but I think Butters might be onto something here.
Yeah. Could it be a Bruno? Because that's the only thing that RRQ played in terms of the marksman jungle that worked.
Give it to Sin, give it to Sin. It's the only one left too, if that is what they're trying to go for, if not the Harley.
There's a few concerns that I have here, especially with Sin and Whisking on board. You can honestly see that the tempo that they are playing at is not exactly the same like how Lemon as well as Albert has been performing throughout the entirety of the runs on the upper bracket. And instead, our answers will be delivered by the carry here instead of the Bruno that has been speculated. But, you know, BREN Esports still having something that we've been seeing for the past few games, which is honestly looking real good.
All right, my question is, while it's hot, while it's here, is this a better choice than the Bruno? Because if you're going for marksman, you better go for the one that works. You gotta go for the one that is right for the situation, and carry seems so vulnerable.
I would agree in most cases, and Bruno, yes, I would argue that Bruno is even more susceptible and more volatile in comparison to the carry because his win conditions are super early and super late. There is no middle ground to that without a snowball going.
Yeah. For the carry, there's some leeway to actually just go down once or twice. And you can, if you do have a good early game, you might be popping off by the time that you reach mid-game. And that's how the carry works.
All right, well, given this unorthodox draft by RRQ HOSHI, everything lays on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 4. BREN Esports looking for the elimination onto the King of Kings, RRQ HOSHI. Gentlemen, let's get it.
The King of Kings here is definitely putting a lot of high stakes on this carry in hopes that if she could get really ahead, that Baxia may not be a problem in the late game phase where you can just kite them out itself. So I'm definitely getting where exactly they're going for instead of the Bruno that you did mention might not be the best of choices.
Yeah, and again, your pick, your mention of oh wait, hold on, this might be a bit of an engagement. Cartesi going up forward really aggressively. The Cosmic Lance already landing, third hit, a G could no, and all of a sudden, Psycho, who isn't level 2, who really needed to be level 2 there to save their Eudora, R7, trying to salvage the situation, but back to mid.
Lusty and the crew, they were fast on their fingers just to punish that risky play from Vin. Vin tried to steal the purple buff, it didn't work.
It's not the greatest of plays here, but it doesn't mean RRQ is out just yet. The First Bloods usually don't mean too much as long as you don't get to translate into anything in BREN. No buffs, no steals, no wave clears, no invades as well. So technically, it's still just, you know, slightly ahead.
Yeah. And it all depends on who we see gets his first item. There's this first item power spike that we're talking about when it comes to a carry or a Claude.
And speaking of which, we're already seeing a lot of invades coming from the side of RRQ, while Lusty is trying to play that in-your-face chill, and definitely not the bush that he wants to move in for, but Whisking trying to go for a catch.
He misses the Wrath of the Dryads, and that would have been a really nice catch if he was able to land that. But at least they buy a little bit of pressure to get this turtle. But can BREN capitalize on this here? You can see a lot of their members rotating fast, and not to mention Boxia is coming in hot.
And this is a way to just catch Psycho and the others. They wanted to stop the effectiveness of this Baksha, but there's a fight happening right now. Look at this. Psycho gets caught out, and Sin and the others are just forced to go back. They can't do anything. They can't punish.
I'm not sure why exactly that Psycho went back in, because none of these members are actually responding towards this, and very obviously that was a miscommunication.
Yeah, it just seems like there was a little bit of disconnect there for the entire team of RRQ. Were they sure they were going in? Were they unsure they were going in? They had to make that decision, and they have to make it fast.
They just got caught out, and a few won't be holding back on the trigger of his Imperial Justice.
Yeah, I mean, right now BREN is just playing a little bit more in sync in comparison to RRQ, but RRQ, they don't have, you know, they're not so in the dumps in terms of their economy. They're still relatively even for the most part of it. 8K to 7.3K. It's only going to be a 6 to 700 differential overall. And Sin, he's going to need to start quickly ramping up into this game. He needs to at least get the Demon Hunter Sword into Golden Staff to make sure that Flapteezy, Flapteezy on this Boxia a little more ineffective.
Yeah, I definitely gotta say that this Kaltizi is ramping up way faster in that sort of sense as compared to Sin at the moment. But Flapteezy, now that RRQ HOSHI has already known what to expect coming from the previous game, he's going to be facing off against R7 at the moment. This is honestly not going to be going all too much anywhere, but eyes are on that river right now because Matilda is looking for a setup.
Psycho and Few will meet each other in the brush, but I don't think RRQ HOSHI would just be initiating on a Sylvana support right now. There is a lot of things that they have to consider, and they have to bring Sin to the point where he gets the endless battle, Raptor Machete and endless battle, then just go from there.
Yeah, and it's important, and I think, you know, they have to itemize correctly for the side of RRQ. We see the Talisman already being purchased on R7, but this is going to be the fight that we're looking for. Psycho going to get hit by Flapteezy initially with a shield of Boxia. As Whisking, he is on this side dealing with Few with no problems, but the rest of RRQ, they're looking for this engage. 3-man hit from the G-Kun. No, Way of the Dragon as well. Not going to be enough as they are able to get the damage from Rebo's Feathered Airstrike, but now they're going to call it off. They trade 1 for 1. Can they get one more? Whisking finally goes down. As you can see, Kaltizi, he's very comfortable in his position, and RRQ forced to back away.
Definitely unfavorable for RRQ HOSHI. Not only will they eventually lose out on this turtle, just look at the picks. They've managed to annihilate all these key components, and Finn, once again, get caught out. And, well, just BREN Esports knowing what exactly to do, and just like how they do best. All the turtles in priority.
R7 going to take the full brunt of damage from the Blazing Duet. Doesn't look like he was able to stack up his Art of Thievery to maximum before coming in. But, you know, R7, he just laughs. Aha! Go back into lane. Let's see what else is there to happen.
But Flap, on the other hand, gets gone out, and that's going to be a lot of ultimates getting thrown into him. Flapteezy! Will he still escape that? No, he won't. But look at the commit. Resources, skills, all the damage that was thrown out. How tanky is that Baksha?
Yeah, literally 4 ultimates came out of them.
Oh, I'm just watching that. If he's just going to be popping that rejuvenation, he can definitely last for days. And now, here comes another little bit of the tussle here. And Mind you, they expend everything just to get one.
Well, at least they didn't get anything in return. Wait a minute, Lusty trying to make the big play here. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually hit it. Good preemptive attack coming in from RRQ, but Kaltizi coming in pretty on hot. Doesn't get too much damage from his Blazing Duet. Not a lot of value. BREN need to start pulling back away, but this is RRQ to look for that re-engage. They're getting a little antsy as they move closer towards that jungle. They just don't know where the rest of the team is yet.
Yeah, and of course, this is going to be very vital for them to just cut in all these spellbands, but Sin gets caught out in the mid side. BREN looking all too hot. He's going for Vin as well. Just look at Kaltizi. He's already 3-0.
He is very happy with the amount of damage he's had there. Even diving, Kaltizi, he's going in hard with the help of Flaptizi to enable him to go under the turret. Wait, the dragon onto WizKing here as they try to secure this up. Rather, the Dryad isn't enough. Kaltizi only losing 50% of his HP to take it out. What great play coming in from BREN to ensure this dive is successful.
Now, RRQ HOSHI, they still have a chance to get back at this. They need to find the opening. They need to find a breather. But Carl is just going wild. This is the confidence that we're talking about. Gideon and Contra.
Speaking of confidence, you know, they might just be the Indonesia Slayers here because they've already taken down Alter Ego and now they are finding every single way to punish RRQ HOSHI.
A true test of might, but not only that, BREN, it feels like they have a lot of momentum riding behind them with a lot of their moves. It is very concise, it is very clean compared to their first two games where you can definitely see that there were a couple of misplays here and there, but overall, BREN just making the right decisions each and every time.
You won't hold back on just using the Imperial Justice. He knows that he has a low cooldown time just because of the pull yourself together. He's not gonna try and conserve that as much as possible. He knows that if you catch one's ear, he is able to get a kill as well.
Speaking of getting a kill here, it's gonna be Vin there in this basic duet on towards RRQ, but they're putting them back as they manage to get the catch on towards Kaltizi as well as Lusty. Flaptizi eventually will fall, but look how much it's taking out of them to get this pick. Few walks away alive, but there's still Ribble at the back. Better airstrike gets one, and the Eudora goes down again.
Great return kills coming in from BREN's side. They lose 3 out of great execution from RRQ. A great mechanical play, especially using the Circular Eagle to make sure that Kaltizi, Blazing Duet, I'm just going to circle around you till it's done.
This is one of the things that I'm telling you about RRQ HOSHI. They can find these little openings and they can punish BREN Esports. Now, BREN Esports, they might have the lead now, but they should be careful into picking their plays. There are times where you can get to, let's say you can be overconfident, just go at them and just lose Kaltizi in the process. Item check is up right now. That is going to be Demon Hunter Sword, the Golden Staff, Rebo with the Clock of Destiny, Winter Truncheon, Lightning Truncheon rather. Few is with the Necklace of Durans. Onto the other side here, Cursed Helmet on WizKing, Bruce Force Breastplate on R7.
Oh, there goes the fight.
Oh, they're already going to begin. Again, Circle Eagle starting off, but R7 is going to get absolutely destroyed by this Blazing Duet coming in for a fully stacked Kaltizi here. Unfortunately, he goes backwards with Batman Image, so he can't get into the fight, but they do find another one. They're looking for the pincer. Flaptizi coming in, turn twice, Poisons as well. They've cut them out. BREN looking to cut them off as WizKing, trying to slow down the damage. Now Sin needs to turn this around. He's got the items finally, but unfortunately, it ain't going to be enough. His range is just a little too short.
Oh my goodness, well played from BREN. Like, they saw opportunity and they took it right there, especially with RQ all stuck in that choke point. At first they pick out R7 and WizKing was all the way out of that fight already and he joins way too late.
Sin is trying his best to just control this game. You know what? He wants to get the farm, he really just wants to carry, but the thing is, BREN Esports has just a lot of control. The back is just controlling them way too much, and the Cho
Psycho.
gets the pick off.
Gets hit by way of the dragon. Sin next to fall. No, that's the worst person that wanted to die for the side of RRQ. And now R7 is on the run. They've already taken out Eudora as well. The cop is falling apart as BREN allowing them to say, hey, make a mistake. Face check me. I won't let you get away.
This is definitely very punishing because this might just costed them this final run right on the lower brackets. They're already pummeling down the base. That timer is already up. Psycho is going to be coming out of the base. But BREN, they can easily go on for this Lord.
BREN now they're clearing the side waves first. They're trying to punish, trying to take away the economy again, and RRQ are realizing they are on a ticking clock here. They don't have a lot to work with. They're running out of resources on top of everything else. But can BREN close out this game here?
The Lord is now their target, and that's what they aim for. They get the extra help from the Lord. They know that they need to be safe at threading this game-ending play that they're gonna do. There are still outer turrets onto the top lane, Gideon, Contra, and as you can see, BREN Esports knows that this is only the level 1 Lord, not the Luminous Lord.
Level 1 Lord or not, I mean, BREN wants to take this advantage and just really press down on the advantage even harder. And if this doesn't go well, at least at the worst, RRQ go even with BREN and it starts all over once more. But if BREN get ahead, they end the game and they take the series and they go to the grand finals.
And now it's really relying on Sin so much that a lot of all these Athena shields have already been purchased. There's going to be more magic resistance coming in towards this late phase. Yep, they're going to be clearing off the Lord over the mid side, but BREN going for the dive!
Oh, it's going really hard. They already get bit in the process. R7 is now pulling on back. He wants to go back into the base to get some help. But Sin, he's locked down in the Imperial Justice. But can they peel him up? Finally, Whiskey is in position to do so. They lose 2 inhibitor turrets at the same time here. But BREN, they're going for the end. This is it. BREN trying to pull on forward. RQ clearing the waves as much as they can. But they're throwing their bodies as soon as they do. Lusty, he's done it. He's brought more glory. Welcome to the grand finals, BREN Esports.
This is the first time that Indonesia is out of the grand finals. BREN Esports, Burmese schools, get yourselves ready for that best of 7.
If that's not a statement for one.
What a new age the Indonesians have to step down. Contra, you were saying, you were asking a question?
This is history in the making. We are definitely seeing this trophy going onto a new nation. And wow.
Confirmed, at least.
At least. You can't see this right now, but Ducky's off screen jumping up and down. He is so proud of his boys.